Hello. I come to you playing a different game today. This is The Witcher 3. And this is just for the purposes of this discussion topic, which I'm hoping Geralt of Rivia here can help me with. The topic is magic. Yes, that magic. Even in science fiction. There's lots of magic in lots of different sci-fi stories. A specific example that readily comes to mind is the Psychers and their use of warp energy in the world of Warhammer 40k. If you know what that means, fantastic, and may the Emperor protect you. If you aren't familiar with the lore of Warhammer 40k, I won't have time during this recording to explain it. It's intricate and long, and the warp and the chaos energies are complicated and could take literally several hours. I'll drop a link in the description if you want to go down that rabbit hole all on your own. There's some monsters on the beach here. I'm going to fight them. Take the loot out of their wrecked boat they're guarding down there. Because monsters like to guard them. And I'm going to use magic to do it. Just to illustrate my point. This is pretty early in the game. I'm still pretty low level. So this could get nasty quick. I can't absorb a whole lot of punishment. Hence all the diving and jumping. I've already used all of my right-hand potions. Alright. Let's see what loot they were getting. I need anything and everything. I'm going to take it back to town and sell it because I'm out of supplies with which to heal myself, and it appears I have literally no health. Let's see if I can go find my horse. Should be somewhere back here. Anyway, where was I? Magic or not, all science fiction does or has the potential to deal with this concept called Clarke tech, which is one of the simplest and possibly my personal favorite trope of science fiction. To sum up Clarke tech in a sentence, it would be technology that is so advanced it appears to outsiders as magic. I'd like to elaborate on this a little further and explain how it's relevant to my book, The Descendant, and how Sir Arthur C. Clarke was, the developer of this concept, that it's, named after him, and how important he was to the world of science fiction. My horse does not appear to be here, so I'm going to follow the road back into town, now that it's well after midnight in the game. Sir Arthur C. Clarke was a well-known British science fiction author who was born in 1917, and he lived until 2008. He wrote many books and even helped co-write the screenplay for 2001: Space Odyssey. His work was so significant and influential. Alright, made it back to town without the horse. His work was so significant and influential that it basically distilled down into three ideas. One, when a distinguished scientist says something is possible, he is correct. And when he says something is impossible, he is most likely wrong. I'm going to find a tavern where I can buy stuff. This can be further simplified as anything is possible. 2, when the only way to discover the limits of anything, of the possible, is to exceed them and go into the impossible. Or simply put, you won't know until you try. And 3 is what I'm here to talk about. Sufficiently advanced technology would be indistinguishable from magic to outsiders. It's this third of Clarke's laws that is referred to as Clarke Tech. This idea plays a large role in my book, and I'll try and briefly elaborate on this, without any spoilers. Well, here's the horse. He came back to the tavern without me. The cat doesn't want to play nice, and that guy's really drunk. It's good to see the bar's still open this late at night.
Something else you'll be needing?
Got anything interesting under the counter?
Depends what you're after. Have a look.
A specific example of Clarke Tech would be, if you somehow managed to travel back in time 200 years to, 1820, and then showed the people in 1820 all the things in your pockets. Yeah, at least in my case. Let's see. I have a small flashlight that uses a couple AA batteries, and it still makes 200 lumens of light. I have a pink Bic lighter, my Leatherman multi-tool, and a cell phone. And any one of these 4 items would be inexplicable to the people of 1820. Even just the plastic of the Bic lighter would be. It'd be impossible to duplicate, and even many of the most advanced minds of the time would have difficulty understanding things that are commonplace to us now, like plastic and 3D printing and cell phones and the internet and computers like I'm using right now. This would be beyond their comprehension. No matter how you explained it to them, most people wouldn't get it. Yeah, we'll buy some potatoes. And this is just, one example. If it could be an advanced spacefaring civilization descending from the heavens tomorrow with technology that is, for them, mundane and commonplace, but is beyond our human comprehension, beyond our current understanding of physics. And, to people like you and I on the street, this would appear as magic. In the case of the Descendant,
Farewell.
there is no time travel, and there is no contact with advanced alien civilizations. Okay, I don't know what was going on there. Now I have some supplies. Oh, is the cat deciding if it's going to come inside or not? While I let the cat do that, where was I? So the Descendant works in the opposite direction of the example I gave earlier. But, remember I said no spoilers. I think the other 2 of Clarke's laws are, fairly self-explanatory and, are, extremely important. This anything is possible and you don't know until you try seem to carry an air of optimism about them that should say something about the character of Sir Arthur C. Clarke. An optimism that, if you know anything about the world of The Witcher and Geralt of Rivia here, which is war-torn and full of dark monsters and horror and other foul creatures, you would know is fairly important. Clarke Tech is one of my favorite facets of science fiction, and probably one of the simplest too. Technology is so advanced, it appears to be magic. Well, if you learn to juggle with 2 hands, and then you learn to juggle with 1 hand,
Is it true?
and then if you learn to juggle with no hands, so that would be magic, wouldn't it? And thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm off to see a ghost about a well.